What's up you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I'm really zoomed in right now because I wanted to show you guys how I do my eyebrows step by step. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a quick little clip of what my eyebrows look like before, so it's definitely a major difference. So I'll let you guys know all of the tools and all of the products that I use, and I will also leave it all linked down below. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the tutorial. Alright, so off camera I went ahead and already tweezed some hairs underneath. I try to only tweeze underneath the brows and never on top, just so I don't mess up like the natural way that they're growing out. So with my spoolie, I'm going to go ahead and just brush through my brows, and I'm sort of going in the natural way that they're growing, so they kind of seem to go this way, so I'm just going to bring them out that way. And then towards the front right here, I kind of like the way it looks when it looks really up like this. So there you go. So I'm just making sure that it looks really combed and nice. I'm going to do the same thing on the other brow. Just go upwards and then in the natural way that my brows are growing. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to pick up is a brush like this that's diagonal like this. This is the Jeffree Star one with Morphe, the JS7. I like this one because it's not too stiff, so it's really easy to work with. And I noticed that the really stiff one I was using from Anastasia Beverly Hills, it was like applying the Dipbrow too harshly and it was making my brows look too thick. Okay, and this one is one that I really like. This one is from Sigma. This is a small angle brush in E65, and I really like this one as well. Alright, so these two items right here is what I use to do my brows with. This one right here is the Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil, and this one is in 3.5. This one right here is the ABH Dipbrow in medium brown, and this one matches my eyebrows perfectly. I'll go ahead and open it up for you guys. So when I feel like it starts to dry out, I do apply a little bit of Inglot Duraline drops, and this just helps it from not drying out. Alright, so I went ahead and added some drops of Inglot Duraline just to make this a little bit less dry and work a little bit better. So as you can see, it's a little bit faded. It's because I personally like it to be a little bit faded versus going in too dark at first. And then if I need to go back in and dip into it, I will, but I like to go in with a little bit. Okay, so I have the ABH Dipbrow on my brush right here, and I'm going to go ahead and start shaping my brow before I go ahead and fill it in. So I'm going to go in the very top part of my brow right here and just start filling it in underneath. So as you see, I'm just creating a line. Alright, so I'm going to grab my brush and just kind of fill in any sparseness going upwards. And if you see, I'm sort of going like this. I'm just going in the natural way that my eyebrows are growing out. When I get to the top right here, I'll sort of go really lightly upwards, just to kind of make fake brows. So I'm sort of creating really light strokes right up here. And then what I do also is I use the spoolie to kind of just disperse it a bit and make it a little bit more blended. Okay, so I'm picking up my brush and I want to sort of create a bit of an arc right here. So I'm starting here and going down. And I do feel like my eyebrow sort of just stops short like that. So I'm going to kind of create fake eyebrow hairs, just creating small strokes. There you go. So it looks a little bit more sharp and like it doesn't just stop short. So I'm just creating fake eyebrow hairs by creating strokes right here. And I'm holding my brush really lightly. Just creating really light strokes and going down. And then right here I'm going to create really thin, sharp strokes. So it kind of just looks like my eyebrow is longer than it normally is. Alright, so I'm going to go back into the brow and just make sure everything looks really full. Anything that looks a little bit sparse, I'll just go in, and now I'm kind of going this way and just sort of filling it in that way. And fill it in, and the way I'm doing it is I'm kind of going like this. Almost like painting it in light strokes. Alright, so I'm going to go back in with my spoolie and just sort of blend everything out, but I'm going super light, like I'm barely touching the brow. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how my brow looks. If I feel like there is a little bit of sparseness that I couldn't really get with the ABH Dipbrow, I will go in with my pencil brush. So for example, it is a little bit sparse right up here, so I'll just go and do really light strokes going upwards. Like I feel like here in the top area, it's kind of hard to go in with your ABH Dipbrow without going in too much. So that's where going in with a pencil brush like this actually ends up working out better, because it helps create those really fine strokes. So these end up actually lasting me forever because I don't do a lot with it. I do a lot more with the ABH Dipbrow, and that literally lasts forever. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the same exact thing to the other brow. Alright, so there is one other step that I do after this to make it look perfect, and I go in with concealer and kind of carve it out on both the bottom and the top. But I'm going to go ahead and do this eyebrow and show you guys how I do that on camera. And I'm going to do the same exact thing, dip into my Dipbrow, and like I said, it's the medium brown one. And it just matches my eyebrows perfectly. So I'm going to dip in with the same exact brush. And then what I always do is take off a little bit on the hand. I never go in completely with it. I want to have enough that it's like faded but still there. So like that would be like perfect for me. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing I did on the other brow. So my first step is I always carve the front right here. Like I line it at the bottom. And then I'm going to go in and kind of fill in any sparseness, just going in the natural way that my brow grows out. So kind of going this way. And then in the front, I feel like it kind of grows upwards. So I'll go a little bit in light strokes. But that's where I kind of go in with the pencil instead, but I'll do that last. And I fill it in a little bit right here, kind of going sideways. So up here, as you guys can tell, my eyebrow is growing out a little bit weird. So I usually just start here and carve it out myself how I want it to be. Sort of just outline it right here and go down. So once I do that, all I really have to do is just go ahead and fill it in and make it look more natural. So this kind of takes me a little bit of time. So I'll go ahead and just pick up my pencil and just sort of fill in that front area right there of the brow. Once you kind of have that going on, as you can tell, this one has a bit more of an arch. So I'm just going to go ahead and sort of create a little bit more of an arch on my right one, because I do like the way that looks. And I'm going to sort of tone this down when I do add concealer. Okay, so I'm going to go in with concealer and kind of clean this up, and you guys will see that it becomes not as thick and it just kind of cleans everything up, and I feel like it makes a major difference. So I'm going to show you guys the two brushes I use. Okay, so the first brush that I'm going to use to carve out my eyebrows and use concealer, this is a Sigma Flat Definer brush in E15, and this is what it looks like. This right here, as you can see, it's like a perfect straight line. I highly recommend getting a brush like this. I prefer this one, the flat definer one, but if you don't have something like that, this works really good too. So I'm gonna go ahead and add some concealer onto this brush. Alright, so I'm grabbing my life-size supply of P.Louise base right here. So I'm gonna put a little bit of that onto this brush and then kind of take a little bit off onto my hands before applying it. Alright, so taking my brush, I'm just going to carve it out in the shape that I like. And I like my brows to go pretty high up right here, so there you go. And then I'll bring it out all the way like that. So that is how you carve it out, and I'm telling you, this brush makes a huge difference. When I use other brushes, I cannot get it as sharp as this, but when I use this brush, usually I just have to go in once and it's perfect. So there you go, and then you can go ahead and sort of just bring the concealer downwards. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing right above here with the same brush. So just carve out your brow the way that you want it to look, like the shape that you like. Let's just say that you want it to be a lot thinner. You can literally go in with concealer on your brow if you want to do that. I like it to be a little bit arched. So you see I'm sort of creating that arch right here and stopping right there. Okay, so now I'm going to clean it up and sort of blend it out upwards. So once you're happy with how your brow looks, you can go in with clear brow gel. This is from Anastasia Beverly Hills, but I'll show you guys another one that I use. This one is the e.l.f. one, and honestly I think it works just as well, and it's only like $1 or $2. So I'll usually use this side. It literally says eyebrow on it. Or you could use this Anastasia one, which is really good as well. So today I'll just use the Anastasia one, but Alright, so I'm going to sort of brush upwards, and I'm going super light. And there you go. I noticed that my brows kind of move throughout the day if I don't do this. Okay, so picking up that same flat definer brush in E15 from Sigma, I'm gonna go ahead and take off a little bit on my hands before I go in to my brows with it. So I'm always gonna start at the bottom and then the top. So I'm gonna carve it out sort of in the same way that I did for my other brow. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the top part. Gonna get a little bit more concealer onto my brush. So I do like that the eyebrow has a bit of an arch there, so I'm sort of doing that with the concealer, making my brow look like I want it to. Right here I'm seeing a little bit of sparseness, so let me just go in with my pencil brush and sort of fix that part. Alright, so grabbing my clear brow gel from Anastasia, I'm gonna go ahead and finish it up. That is the finished look. This is how I do my brows. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup and then show you guys what it looks like, and you guys will see the full finished look. So I will be right back. Okay, so I went off camera and I did my face and eye makeup, so I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like with the full look completed. It definitely makes a difference. Guys, so that is pretty much it. That is how I do my brows. I do my brows a little bit more differently if I'm just doing like a quick look. I'll just probably just use the pencil brow and just fill it in. I probably won't do all of these steps because that would take too long. So if I am filming here on YouTube or I'm doing an Instagram video or taking any photos, this is exactly to the T how I do my eyebrows. It just looks really good, especially when you do take photographs. You will see that you can't see any of the sparseness or anything versus what it looked like before. So me personally, this is how I do my eyebrows whenever I'm here on YouTube or doing photos. It just looks really good on the photos and all of that. So that is pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.